So today we're starting and we're talking about bunkers. I feel that a lot of people are scared of bunkers or are not sure about hitting proper bunker shots, but it's one of the easiest shots you could hit. I also feel that you guys need to practice it more. If you're not practicing it enough, then it will be difficult. Then any shot will be difficult. So bunkers is actually very easy, and you don't need to be scared of how to hit a bunker shot. Let's start with the basics first. The basic. Wait. Yeah. So the basics is what do we hit when what club do we hit when we hit a bunker shot? So obviously we can't hit any club when we hit a bunker. You have to have a sand wedge or a lob wedge, depending upon the texture of the sand or the distance the ball is away from the hole. So whatever you feel um, you want to use. So why do we use a sand wedge? What is special in a sand wedge that we can't with that we don't use a pitching wedge or a 9-iron? This is because the sand wedge has something called the bounce. This area, the flange area, creates a bounce so that the club bounces off the sand, skims the sand, and the ball can pop up. That's why we would use a sand wedge. That's the importance of using a specialized club called a sand wedge, for example. Now that you're ready with the club, we will go on to your posture. So when you stand inside the bunker, you get into the bunker and then you have a good, you move your feet around a bit in the sand to get a good stance. Also, you do feel a bit of the texture of the sand, and you can understand if it's very powdery or if it's tight or if it's wet. So that's another reason why you should get a very good, you just move your feet around a bit and you get a good standing, a good stance in the sand. Your feet can be as wide as your shoulders or slightly wider. So I would advise that it can be slightly wider than your shoulders. It shouldn't be too narrow. So a bit wider than your shoulders, and your feet are nicely placed inside the sand. Don't do too much also. That is also not allowed. Just enough, and then you can feel the texture of the sand as well. Your posture is similar. Some people bend a lot, but that also depends upon the texture of the sand. Um, let's go to ball position. So once we get the posture correct, then we go to ball position. The ball position is always left of your center. So it's not in the center and it's not so much towards your left toe. It can be anywhere between your left toe and the center, but towards the left of your foot. So if you're a righty, then it's towards your left foot. If you're a lefty, then it's towards your right foot. That's going to be a ball position. That is also very important. The other basic is you have to make sure that when you hit a sand bunker shot, you're not hitting a normal swing, right? It's a bit of a out to in cut swing, what we call it. So we are always aiming, if we are a right-handed golfer, we are always aiming slightly left of the hole or the target, slightly left of it. And you have to give way for the ball to land and then go land to the left and then swing a bit to the right. So your aim is also slightly left of the hole. So this encourages a bit of a out to in swing path. You're almost like slicing through the sand. We want the swing speed to be even, and there should be no slowing down because then you're in trouble. A lot of people have the tendency to, once they're coming and hitting at the sand, they slow down and they stop. But you have to actually slice through the sand, and you have to keep it at an even speed. You're not decelerating ever. If you decelerate, then you're in trouble. Then the ball is not getting out of the sand. The different types of sand, we can talk about the different types of sand and how it affects your golf, the bunker shot. One more important thing I want to talk about is you're actually never digging into the sand. So when you're hitting a bunker shot, it should not be a dig into the sand. It should be mostly like a skim. So it is easier when the sand is actually a little wet. So when the sand is actually a little wetter, it's a little harder, right? So the club can easily skim through. But when it's the tougher shots are the bunkers which have the really, really soft sand or silica based sand. I think some of the bunkers in RCGC also have that. So what happens, the club goes down and slows down faster when you have that kind of a sand. So when you're playing courses which have very soft sand or silica based sand, you should be practicing more your bunkers, so you get an idea about how deep and how far slow the club head will get once you start to hit the ball. You have a question, Laksh? You can just type it down. Okay, tell me. No, it's okay. Tell me.
Ma'am, I'm saying that if my ball is stuck inside the bunker, like if there's
Stuck.
a yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
Okay.
like the sand is above the ball.
The sand is above the.
Ball, like ma'am, there's like a type of a small.
The ball is totally covered. The ball is
Yes, ma'am.
totally covered.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So you
So, ma'am,
mean like a fried egg or whatever you.
yes, ma'am. So,
So
ma'am,
that is
how do we
happening.
take out the ball?
So you've hit the ball into the bunker, and it's mostly covered up with the sand, right? And it's totally below. So that is one of the toughest shots in golf, right? So unless you practice it, you're not going to have an idea how to hit it in your competition, right? So anyway, I hope you never face that shot. But when that happens, what you can try and do is, there are two ways. All right, and you practice and see what works for you. One is again, you're seeing the texture on the sand. Is it wet and it's got stuck, or is it very, very soft and then it's got stuck, right? In whichever way it is, you try and do two things. The first thing is, we'll come to that. So the first thing is, we want to try, we'll take questions now because we've already gone through the basics of how to hit a bunker shot. So the first thing what you will try and do is, Laksh, try and go as deep down, have a little bit of a judge. Like, you have to judge it in your mind. So let me just tell everyone one thing is also, bunkers, like anything in short game, is very personal. There is a personal touch, like in short game, right? So if you don't practice enough bunkers, you will not be good at it. And if you practice it a lot, which you should be with all your short game, then it'll be the easiest shot you hit. But like everything, you have to practice it a lot. So then you understand the feel in your hand. So when you're hitting a fried egg, when it's gone in totally inside, you want to try and gauge, how much more below you can hit to try and pop it up. And this is going to be a full shot. So, and you cannot decelerate it, otherwise the ball is going to just come out and stay back into the bunker, right? You can have a little longer backswing and follow through, and try to go as deep as you can below the ball. The club face will not be too open, so it can be a little bit closed. Then again, depending on the quality of the sand, if it is very fine, then you can open it up. So those are the two differences. If it's not a very fine bunker, if it has particles which are, not so, which is it's a little wet, or the the bunker is not so soft, then the club face needn't be so much open. Then you can close it a bit and try to go. But you want to accelerate well through the ball, well through the shot. Okay? You want to accelerate well through the shot and as much below as you can. Try and get it out. But let me tell you guys again and again, it is one of the toughest shots, and you need to be practicing it on your own in the bunker multiple times.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Question. There was another question. There was another question right now.
No question, ma'am.
Yeah. They've written it. It's in the chat.
The chat is sent by Shuparnadi, I guess.
No, I just texted in the chat box that if anybody has any question, please write it down. There's no question as of yet. You can continue, ma'am. Once there's any question, I'll just ping you.
Someone just asked me about hitting long bunker shots.
Maybe then directly to you. The question is sent directly to you then.
You should write it in the chat box, everyone, so everyone can read it. When we have to hit longer bunker shots, there are a few changes in your stance. And so longer bunker shots, first thing you need to see, as always, is again the texture of the sand. If it is not very soft and fine, then it's easier to hit out. Then you check the height of the bunker. So depending on the height, you're going to choose your club. So if the bunker face is not too long or too high, then you can choose a longer iron or even a wood, like a fairway wood, like a rescue, or a longer iron, like a 5 iron. So you reach your target. You can you change your ball position. It doesn't need to be so much towards the left of your foot, but depending on the club you choose as well. If it's a little longer iron, then you can longer iron and or wood, then you can keep it more towards your left foot if you're a righty. One more thing is, you want to concentrate when you're hitting the ball. You want to concentrate. You want to make sure you want to concentrate on top of the ball, because you want to try and hit it as clean as possible with a bit of sand. So you don't want to dig into the sand a lot with this kind of a shot. So first we see the texture of the sand, then we see the length of the bunker face, height of the bunker face. With that, you choose your club. After you've chosen your club, you try and hit a cleanish shot. So you shouldn't have too much of a divot, and you want to concentrate a little bit on top of the ball before hitting it. You can have a bit of a 3/4 shot if you're comfortable with that, if that's easier for you. So even if you're a little far away from the green, you can have more control with a bit of a 3/4 of a shot. So yeah, so that's my advice to hitting long shots. Again, you need to practice it. If you just go on the course and you have to experience it, it's not going to be a very good shot. So you need to practice a few shots and get an idea of how to hit it. But these are the steps you can follow before hitting a long bunker shot. I think there's one more question.
Yes, ma'am. Ball on the bunker slopes. How should I get out of it?
Yeah. So bunker slopes, there are two types of slopes. One is the downswing, one is the upswing, right? One is the downhill and one is the uphill. So when these are also very tough shots. So if you experience them when you're hitting your bunkers, you need to practice it a lot as well. Now if the ball is stuck at the face of the bunker or in the bottom of the bunker or at the face, you also again have to make some changes. First, you have to check your stance and make sure you stand comfortably. So you don't want to be standing uncomfortably, and then once you make the swing, that you fall off or you don't have enough balance. make sure you're standing comfortably with your leg up or down or wherever, and then have a good stance in your sand. If the ball is stuck on the face of the bunker, I would not advise you to even hit a sand wedge or a lob wedge, or you can. I would rather you take a pitching, or because you're already on the upslope, right? So the club face will open more when you're hitting it on the upslope. So you need to close it a bit. So you can take your pitching wedge and your 9-iron, and you have to hit behind the ball and let it pop up. So you're not really finishing the golf swing. You can't. If the ball is stuck in the face of the bunker, you can't. So you want to just take your backswing and hit underneath the ball and let it pop up on its own. And that's how you would hit the ball on the slope. You again and again, like I'm saying, you need to practice it. You need to see which club you are comfortable in hitting that shot. Anywhere from a 9-iron to a pitching wedge to the sand wedge with the club face a little closed, so the ball pops up.
Okay, so next is how to get backspin for bunker shots.
Okay, so every shot is a backspin, right? Whenever you hit any shot in golf, you have a backspin. That's every ball spins in golf. Every ball has a backspin. But if you want to, what do you mean? Like increase the backspin? It depends on the quality of the green as well, and you need to have a good wedge while hitting the ball. You need to have also softer sand. So if you see those balls which like land on the green and spin back, it's because whenever the person is hitting off the sand, they're slicing it they're skimming the sand totally below the ball. They're not really digging into the sand. So you have to slice it. So you have to be more of a slice. Also, you have to see the quality of your club and the green. Now, if the green is not good, your ball is not going to backspin on the green. If you have very fast and well-maintained green with a good soft ball, then only you will feel the backspin. Then only you will get the backspin. Wet sand. So many golfers fear wet sand. I don't know why. And they shouldn't, because it is easier actually, if it's not too wet, obviously, than from really soft sand. Because one, the club doesn't slow down so fast, and you can have a control about how much below you dig it in. So actually, it's not so difficult to hit off wet sand, and you just make sure that your club face is not so open. So if you're making the mistake of opening your club face like you would do with normal sand, then I think you would be having problems, because you don't want to use too much of the sand. Like for example, if you're using the sand wedge, you wouldn't want to use too much of the bounce from a hard ground. You're just going to top the ball. So you can just close the club face a little bit and just try and slice through the sand if it's slightly wet, which you might experience nowadays due to the rains which will be coming. And yeah, there's another question.
Yes, ma'am. You just spoke about it. Like, will it be sensible to take a 9-iron or pitching wedge for a 50-yard bunker shot if you are a short hitter?
What is true?
Will it be sensible to take a 9-iron or pitching wedge for a 50-yard bunker if you are a short hitter?
Okay. You can take a 9-iron or a pitching wedge. It actually doesn't depend on how long you're hitting, we just want the ball out of the bunker nice. A short hitter, see, you have to first check the bunker face height. If you feel with a 9-iron pitching wedge, you can get the ball out. If the bunker face is not so high, then I would advise you to hit a 9-iron or pitching wedge. Like for example, if we talk about RCGC first hole, there's a bunker right in the center of the fairway, and a lot of balls, find themselves inside that bunker. A lot of times, unless the ball is right at the edge of the bunker or at the face, and if it's slightly behind and you feel that you can cross the bunker face, you can clear it, then yeah, you can use a 9-iron or a pitching. Of course you can, because you need to carry that distance. But you need to see 2-3 things. First, you need to see the texture of the sand. You see the height of the bunker face, and you see where the ball is situated in the bunker. So these are the things you want to see before making the decision of seeing what club you can hit. If the ball is in a tougher position, if it's right in the club at the wall, or stuck at the bunker face, or right below the face, bunker face, then you just want to like take it out as far as you can and then maybe chip it onto the green. So yeah, you can hit a pitching wedge on 9-iron. There's no problem with that. But make sure you see all these things and then decide. You don't want to be stuck back into the bunker again.
Ma'am, there's a question like, how do you hit a bunker shot from wet bunker?
Yeah, I just spoke about it before.
Yes. And the next question is, can you, ma'am, please speak about some bunker rules, like how to take a drop?
How to take a
Drop.
Okay. Okay. You really can't take a drop in the bunker. It's a hazard. But the only time, unless the bunker is totally filled with water, bunker rules is, okay, let's start from the beginning. So once you get into the bunker, there is a new rule stating that if your club hits the sand, now you will not be penalized, but that is only if your club hits the sand by mistake. So you can't still be swinging the club in the bunker or taking practice swings. That is not allowed. So only accidentally, if you're entering the bunker and the club head hits the sand, will you not be penalized? That is the main change of rule in the bunkers. Another problem is in monsoons, where in Calcutta we face monsoons, and many of the bunkers get filled with water or half filled with water. Now, if it is totally filled with water, you have to take a penalty drop and go back and hit the ball. Now, if inside the bunker, like for example, 7th hole in RCTC, which is already a tough hole, there is a huge bunker lining the green right in the front. So a lot of times half the bunker is with water and half is not. So now if the ball lands in this kind of situation, if the ball lands in the water, then you can take a drop in the area which is not of water, which is not filled with water. That is the only time you can do that, and then you can hit your shot. So yeah, so let me clear off the main rule is that now there was a change in rule for bunkers, which stated that you will not be penalized 2-shot penalty if your club face hits the sand, but that is only accidentally. You cannot take practice swings. You're not meant to take practice swings or hit your club 10 times inside the bunker. That is still not allowed. Accidentally, when you're entering the bunker, if your club face touches the sand or hits the sand, then only will you not be penalized a 2-shot penalty anymore. Any more questions about? I think everybody has the basics of how to hit a bunker shot. Yeah, so rear edge of the bunker, which is behind, right? So you have the front edge and the rear edge. That is another very tough shot. It is one of the toughest shots in golf. And if you're right at the rear edge, I would say that so you want to, depending upon the height of the bunkers, but you still want to come slightly at the ball, because you can't come shallow, because you would hit the rear end. So you want to come, so I would say the only difference is you would want to come a little bit steep at the ball. You can't take a very shallow swing, because you would just hit the ball clean, or you can hit the back, or you could hit the, the slope, the bunker slope behind the ball. So you want to position yourself so that your downswing is slightly steeper, so you catch the sand behind the ball and try to get it out. But like I said again, it is a tough shot. You need to practice it, and you're not going to magically hit a great shot if you don't practice it, if you don't have an idea of how steep you have to hit at the ball. Also, depending upon how much space you have between the ball and the rear edge of the bunker. So if you're really stuck at the rear edge, then that's a bad, that's an unfortunate lie. You just want to try and get it out. You might still be inside the bunker, and then you try and get it out from there. But otherwise, you want to try and get nicely behind the ball, under the ball. And so I would suggest that you come in more steeper. So your swing gets a slightly more steeper to get behind the ball and plop it out. Try and plop it out. But it is a tough shot and you need to practice it. So I would advise, my advice is, when you are practicing bunkers, practice hitting of all areas, of course. Try from the bunker face, from the rear end, from the middle. In bunker, some players stand open to target. Wait, I didn't get that. I didn't get that.
In bunkers, some players stand open to target while others parallel to the target. So which one is better?
No, what?
In a bunker, some players stand open to the target while others stand parallel to the target. So which one is better?
I would advise you standing open to the target, because you want a bit of a slice or a out to in swing path. So I would advise open to the target, but you also, so you're obviously aiming slightly left, and you have to give the ball, let the ball go left and come to the right. You have to go, stand a little open to the target.
Okay, ma'am. So there's a continuation.
Yeah. So what club to hit of the rear edge also depends upon the texture of the sand. If it's very soft, and depending upon how close you are to the rear edge, but I would again say you don't want it to be too much open. So either you can take a sand wedge and close it a bit, or use a pitching wedge. 9-iron might not take enough height. So between these two clubs, but don't keep it open. Keep it a bit inside. We discussed this. If the ball is inside the sand, you want to come down. So again, you don't want it too much open, and you want to nicely slice it really below the sand, and you have to accelerate through. So you don't want to decelerate, or forget even decelerating. You don't want to have the same speed. You have to accelerate through and go through with your follow through, with a very steady and strong follow through. Otherwise, the ball is not plopping up. So so before we end this session, the takeaway should be is that you try and follow the basics. It is not a tough shot at all, and give 5 to 10 minutes of every time you practice to bunkers, and you will see that you prefer bunkers to even chipping. It's actually one of the easiest shots, but if you don't practice it, If you don't give yourself time in the bunkers, then it will be difficult for you to get it out. And just hit 10 shots from the bunker edge, 10 shots from the rear edge, and 10 shots from the middle of the bunker. And if you practice it enough, you'll see by the time in a 2 weeks time or 3 weeks time, you'll already get more confident with your bunker game. Any more questions?
Ma'am, is it easier to take out the ball with a wood in a fairway bunker?
Yeah. If you have a fairway bunker which is very low, I would advise you to hit a fairway wood. Of course, you can hit a fairway wood. You just have to make sure that you hit it a bit more cleaner. You don't want to have a very deep divot. You want to be concentrating more on the top of the ball. You can hold it a little shorter for more control and a little bit of a 3/4 swing. So one example I'm going to tell you is the 18th hole in RCTC again, which also falls to the right, and a lot of people that tee offs land in that area. So if your ball is in that bunker, you can easily hit a rescue or a 3-wood out, rescue or a 5-wood out, depending on how close the ball is, but you can. Yes, of course you can hit a wood.
No more questions as of now, ma'am.
Okay. So, and no more questions. So I think we've covered everything. I would just advise you that go out there, practice. Hopefully everything will open soon. And the short game, the bunkers are very important. You want to be inside the bunkers. Distance control in bunkers has to do a lot with how much also you dig it. So there are two things: your backswing and follow through length, and how much you dig into the sand, how much you hit below the ball, and also the texture of the sand again. So first we start with the backswing and follow through length. So if the distance is longer, then you can take a longer backswing and follow through. If you just with a normal swing, also if the ball is in very soft sand and you need to hit it close, there also you can take a very long backswing and follow through, but it'll be more upright because you want to really get underneath sand to plop it out close to the hole. If it's a normal bunker shot, you control it with your backswing and follow through, and with how much so if you dig in a lot more than necessary, then the ball is going to go shorter, and if you dig in less, then the ball will go longer. So all these things are there to hit it longer and shorter. See, again and again, as I tell you, these things need to be practiced. There is no, it'll be different for you, it'll be different for everyone else, because most of this is field play. So you need to be practicing these shots to get the feel in your hand, how much you need to play, for how much backswing and forward swing you need to have, for what distance and what type of sand, and where it's located in the bunker as well. So I think we just discussed this. When it's at the back of the bunker, we need to hit it more steeper in the sand. We cannot have a very shallow swing so that we don't hit the back of the bunker or you don't hit a top. So you need to have a little bit of a steeper swing so you catch the sand behind the ball and the ball gets out of the sand bunker. So I hope these lockdowns open up and you guys can go and practice it. And next time we can discuss how if you've improved or not. Just 5 to 10 minutes in the bunkers. I mean, if you guys don't have time, then just 5 to 10 minutes. Otherwise, if you have time, then please give yourself sufficient time to practice in the bunkers, to get a feel, to practice all around it. And you'll see the next time you're on the course and you're in a tougher situation, you won't be so fragile. It'll be easier for you to deal with it.
Okay, so I think there are no more questions, so we can
Talk
end.
about one main thing as well, which I didn't, is your body. So when you're hitting in bunkers, you want to make sure your body center is very stable. It shouldn't be going back and forth, up or down. So you want to be very stable. You should be turning around your body. You shouldn't be going into the shot or swaying too much. That also affects your point of contact and things like that. So you want to be hitting against your left foot here as well, and you want to be turning around your body. So not so much movement. I see that a lot also in club golfers or people who complain about bad bunker shots, is that they don't have enough stability in their body. They're always like moving. So you want to be very stable in bunkers and hit against your left side of your body. So you're actually like turning around. You're not moving. So that's one more main thing you see along with your posture and alignment and club face and club and choosing your club and seeing the texture of the sand and seeing all these things. You also have to make sure when you swing, you make sure you don't move so much. You have to be turning around your body. That is another very main thing when you hit bunkers. So yes, I think we can end this session now. This was just a basic session, so you guys get an idea and get some just to clear off your brains if you're confused with anything, and go and try it out. Try out every type of bunker shot with every type of texture of sand and different bunker face, lips, high, low, and then you'll be much more confident when you go to play on the course. But it is an easy shot and you shouldn't be worried or fragile with it at all. I think we can wrap up.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you for the session.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you everyone for joining also. Thank you.
Good evening and thank you, ma'am.